it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Aliens from 1986, the legendary iconic sci-fi action thriller from James Cameron. The sequel to 1979's Alien from Ridley Scott. Starring Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton. Aliens is a movie that transcends sci-fi, horror, and action all in one movie. And with the release of Alien Romulus this week, I previously took a look at the Alien VHS. Now we're taking a look at Aliens.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Welcome back to the Ectoviolence channel. My name is Alec, and today we're talking about Aliens on VHS. Let's go ahead and pop this tape in and get right to it. The thing I love about reviewing VHS is seeing the trailers. Unfortunately, Alien and Aliens from this 1992-93 release don't have trailers. Kind of a bummer, but we get right into the movie. Let's talk a little bit about Sigourney Weaver, alright? This is her return after 7 years playing the same character. 2 years before this, she just played Dana Barrett in Ghostbusters and killed it. Now, I'm a huge Ghostbusters nerd. There is nothing bigger or better in this world to me than Ghostbusters. And I gave Alien a 5 out of 5 hearts when I rated it at the end of its review. I do enjoy the plot elements of it being 57 years later she's been sleeping, you know? All the stuff with Paul Reiser and her at the beginning is fascinating. It's a good way to get into the story. It's tragic. I really enjoy all the board meeting stuff. It's kind of boring if you're maybe a kid and you don't understand fully what's happening, but Michael Biehn. I've actually met Michael Biehn. There used to be his autograph hanging up there, but I'm packing up everything and moving pretty soon, so eventually it will hang again. But I love him in Terminator. I love him in this. I love him in The Abyss. What else is he in? Planet Terror. Take Me Home Tonight. Like, the guy pops up in all sorts of awesome stuff. I just love him. Paul Reiser, and we've recently seen his return in like Stranger Things and Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Not that he ever really went away, but he's in some of this bigger stuff again, you know what I mean? Putting him in Stranger Things was just such a brilliant decision. He's a great actor, and he plays such a great asshole in this movie. A manipulative, sniveling little, you just want to punch him, you know? But that's his performance. He's great. Lance Henriksen, also from Terminator, James Cameron. He likes to work with a lot of the same people. Lance Henriksen played a cop. I actually think he was in talks to play the Terminator at one point. But here he plays Bishop, so he's kind of playing a robot. Although Bishop is a lot kinder and gentler. And then you get Bill Paxton as Hudson.
That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? Where's some real pretty shit now, man?
You finished?
Rest in peace, Bill. Bill Paxton was also in Terminator. Bill Paxton, this has been talked about before, is the only person to have been killed on screen by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien. Lance Henriksen gets taken out by an alien and a Terminator. Michael Biehn gets killed by a Terminator, but then dies in space between Aliens and Alien 3. And let's talk about some of the special effects in this movie, right? It's been 7 years, but some of the effects, and I'm not talking about the practical effects, but anytime they're doing green screening or any sort of digital manipulation, not like CGI, but that's when it's occasionally a little wonky. I easily forgive it because of the rest of the movie, the design and everything. It looks so good. Those stompers, the loader, and let's talk about that, the loader, Chekhov's loader as I call it. You get to see how big and badass it is near the beginning of the movie when she's loading stuff. And of course, by the time you forget about it, it comes back and you're like, oh shit. Was James Cameron watching a lot of anime at the time? The design of the Space Marines outfits and everything, and all of their individual personalities, it's very interesting. You get to feel like you know them just a little bit, just enough, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that's missing, is personality in a broad amount of characters. So in the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of movies like this, like Alien, The Thing, The Abyss, all the way up to like Anaconda and Deep Blue Sea, stuff like that, where all of these characters, you feel like, oh, I can recognize, and there's a distinct personality between these people. Sometimes when I watch movies more recently, I don't feel that way. You might get 2 or 3 characters that have real personality and then some boring-ass motherfuckers. And that's not always the case. I'm just talking about in movies that are sort of in this genre. Nightmare on Elm Street had come out 2 years before. That's interesting how this dream scene transitions, isn't it? James Cameron is a Wes Craven fan. We mentioned this in the Alien review, but as they are flashing the characters from the last movie who are dead on the screen during the board meeting, you do see Lambert, and it's revealed that this character is trans. Welcome to the future. Let's talk about my 2 favorite futuristic apartments. Actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, it's gonna have to be 3. Ripley's apartment in Aliens. There's just something homey about it, you know? I want to live there. Bruce Willis's apartment in The Fifth Element, and Deckard's apartment in Blade Runner. Definitely one of the best scenes in this movie is the first sort of outbreak of chaos that you have when the Marines are fighting the aliens. And I love how it's flashing back between the actual Marines and showing what the people out of that are seeing. Gorman and Ripley and Burke. And Gorman just kind of freezes over, and Ripley's like, "Do something, you fucking idiot!" Ah! And then I do really appreciate how they kind of pushed this forward. They didn't just make it a bunch of aliens that they had to fight and then blow up. They're actually the alien queen, you know, something new and interesting. And between you and me, I think there's a possibility we might see an alien queen in Alien Romulus. It's just sort of a feeling I have. I haven't seen the movie yet, obviously. I'm seeing it this week sometime, but I have that feeling. Now, if we want to talk about some negatives to this movie, I got maybe 2. The first one's going to be Jeanette Goldstein. Let's talk about this, shall we? I don't see enough people talking about this, and I think someone should. Although I will say I'm not Latino or anything, and Jeanette Goldstein is of Brazilian, Russian, and Moroccan descent. She plays Vasquez in this. You may also recognize her from Near Dark, Terminator 2, Titanic, and basically my negative is that it is completely unnecessary to put this character in brownface for this movie. And Aliens is such a perfect movie otherwise that we all just kind of ignore this. And listen, I'm not outraged by this or anything. Again, I'm not Latino by any means, but I do find it ridiculous. And I think everyone should think it's ridiculous. I'm not even saying Jeanette Goldstein shouldn't have played the character. You just shouldn't have put the makeup on her. That was a step too far, James. But I digress, you know, that's my biggest issue with this movie. And again, I'm not like, oh my god, cancel Aliens. I'm watching it on VHS. I'm going to see the sequel. I'm never going to stop loving this movie or anything. You can look back at the past and criticize it without saying, oh, we can never watch that again. It's possible. This next negative, I blame on Alien 3. Or in particular, the writers, David Giller, Walter Hill, and Larry Ferguson. And a little bit on you, David Fincher, the director, for taking it upon yourselves to kill both Hicks and Newt off-screen.
She's dead! Gone forever! Died a horrible, painful death! Gone, 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 just like your dog!
My dog's dead?
I just ran him over with the car when I drove in!
To make a very, very mid movie. Thanks for nothing. And before I give my rating for this movie, why don't you go ahead and jump in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Alien. Let me know what you think of Aliens. Let me know if you're excited for Alien Romulus, like I am. And I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 hearts. Aliens is a beautiful, nearly flawless movie. I think Alien is a little more flawless. But Aliens is definitely up there, especially for people of our generations. Gen X, millennials. This is like gold right here. Be on the lookout for my review of Alien Romulus, and if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.